Hi, boys and girls.
Ooh, what is this? That does not look good. He got the worst of it. Well, they didn't hit me because Toyota wants this truck back in one piece. I see we have a Toyota Tacoma coming. Usually start around $27,000, but this one's a wee bit more. Well, it is a 4x4 double cab. That brings us to 35 grand. A little bit more. And here are all the options. The Trail Edition. Bronze wheels, Goodyear tires, skid plate, locking differential, locking bed. Well, you can read it for yourself. Going on down the list. And here's the tab. A lot of money for a small truck, but it's a Toyota. Runs forever, so this is what you pay. Not too many discounts on Toyotas out there. So let's go to our test facility and take a look. So here's our broadcast facility where we make our videos and send them all over the country on this big antenna. And here's the Toyota Tacoma we were talking about earlier. I like all pickup trucks, but this is my favorite. At least if I had the money, this is the one I would buy before anything else. And this one's equipped with all the off-road goodies, big tires, big wheels, 4x4, skid plates, locking differential that we saw on the price sheet earlier. One thing I'm glad about, it doesn't have that stupid, idiotic fake hood scoop that we find in a lot of the TRD models. Thank you. We don't need that dumb hood scoop. Non-functioning hood scoop. It looks silly. Under the hood, the base engine is a 4-cylinder putting out 159 horsepower. Don't see too many of those except on the cheapy 2-wheel drive, especially with the manual transmissions. The loss leaders, they call them. For more serious use, the 3.5-liter V6 seen here, 278 horsepower. It is available with a 6-speed manual on some of these versions. This has the 6-speed automatic. Fuel economy rated is 18 to 22 mpg with these big tires and wheels. We'll be taking this out in the real world to see what it really gets. Don't go away. And we always check to see if there's a spare tire in the vehicle. Yeah, it's under there. Have to get dirty if you need it. As we do in all our videos, we will be taking these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. You're doing other night driving as well. Don't go away. On this particular truck, we have locking tool chest here on each side, which can also be used as an ice chest here on the left and here on the right. Of course, the disadvantage is you lose a lot of space in between for hauling stuff. Trade-off, take your pick. It would be nice if these slid out a lot easier, like I had on the Nissan Titan, but not to be. And a lot of critics don't like this 6-speed automatic gearbox because other trucks have 8 and 10 speeds in this class. Yeah, I get it, but this transmission is almost indestructible, seems to last forever. Can't say that much for the others. One thing I like about this truck, we get an old-fashioned manual emergency brake, not that electronic garbage. Yeah, it takes up a bit of room, but I'd rather have this instead. And still, you put some manual emergency brakes down on the floor like you used to in the old days, but I don't like electronic brakes for a list of reasons I won't mention in this video. I don't have the time. This is better. And yes, there is a 6-speed manual available on the Tacoma, as I mentioned earlier, but I say try before you buy. I didn't find it very pleasant to use, and you will lose acceleration ability and fuel economy if you get that. The automatic is quicker and gets better economy. And lasts just as long, plus you don't have to replace clutches. But if you just have to shit for yourself and need a clutch, this might do. By the way, if you knock this shift lever over to the left, you can shift manually without a clutch. Another method to choose your gears manually without having to go through the clutch process. Just flick it over here to the S mode, plus gear, negative gear. It's that easy. This is a very simple cabin, nothing exotic, simple knobs. Here's your four-wheel drive low, two-wheel drive. Locking differential button up here on the roof. By the way, I just took a 90-mile highway trip in this rig. Got 18 miles to the gallon. I know it doesn't sound like much, but remember, got a lot of ground clearance here. It creates a lot of air drag underneath, plus the big wheels and tires. On a truck that's modified like this for off-roading, anything over 20 mpg is unusual, regardless of the brand of truck or the type of engine. We'll be taking another highway trip later on in the video. Maybe we can boost up the numbers a bit. That's enough show and tell. Let's go to part 2, do some driving. With these heavy-duty shocks, big tires and wheels, this vehicle bounces around quite a bit. By the way, the rattles you hear, that's not the vehicle. I have a lot of gear in here bouncing around. However, this combination on suspension and tires does a great job absorbing impacts, and you really don't feel too much in the cabin. And I'm gliding over potholes and bumps and all kinds of ripples that I couldn't do in a regular suspension. Not at this speed anyway, of 35 to 40 miles per hour. This setup is definitely intended for off-roading. The more I drive this in the daytime when the sun is overhead, the less I'm getting enjoyable driving experience. This shiny chrome, well, real chrome or plastic chrome, whichever, reflects the sun right in your eyeballs. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but trust me, it's there. Same with the shiny chrome and plastic trim on top. Oh, there we go. Are you blinded yet? If you have some polarized sunglasses, it might help. Why do car makers do this? I guess they don't have sun in Korea. I spent a lot of time overseas, mainly out in the boonies, and I never saw too many Ford, GMC, Chevy, or Ram pickups, or even Jeeps for that matter. It's pretty much Toyota Tacoma pickups, because they're reliable, they're durable, seem to run forever. A lot of military units were using them too. That should tell you something. I still can't believe this. I put this chair out here about 3 years ago. Every time I drive by, it's still here. Although the rats seem to be enjoying it more than the people sitting on it. If anybody's sitting on it at all anymore. Well, I came out to do ranch patrol and check on the cows, and they're all gone. I wonder if the rustlers got them. Maybe some flying saucer came and snapped them all up. Oh well, carry on. One of the big advantages of a small truck like this, you can squeeze in these narrow spots. A big rig would never fit in here, unless you wanted to mow down a bunch of trees. Another good reason for choosing the Tacoma. Well, here's Elsie. What are you hiding for? Oh, I see. You want me to get out so you can demonstrate those sharp horns you got. No, I'm not that stupid. Man, you is an ugly female. I'm gonna call you Hillary. Time to take a highway trip. Get some highway fuel economy readings while we're at it. So let's go along for the ride. This truck has one feature I cannot stand. That is radar cruise control. One of the dumbest things I've ever seen on a vehicle. I know you might not agree. I'm not going to sit there and debate it right now. The video will be way too long. Fortunately though, if you press the button down like 5 seconds, the radar cruise is overridden and you get standard cruise control, which is the way it should be, for me anyway. Thank you for Toyota for giving us a choice between the two. With this raised suspension and giant tires, you're getting a lot of air running underneath the vehicle. And all that turbulence causes a lot of drag and doesn't exactly help fuel economy. So it should be interesting to see if we get the 22 mpg claimed. Well, 101 miles on the highway trip, 19.1 mpg. And for the entire tank, from beginning to end, 17.4 mpg. So what's my take on this Tacoma after a week of driving? Oh, just a footnote here. You know, if you ever pick up a publication like Motor Trend Car and Driver and they compare the Tacoma pickup truck with other compact pickup trucks, usually the Tacoma comes in last, and I can understand that. This is a slightly dated design, been around a while. The other trucks are slightly smoother, handle slightly better. However, let's do a rematch when these trucks get 300,000 miles on the clock. See how they perform against each other then, because I think this truck will still be running nice and smooth, and a lot of the others won't be running at all. I suppose if you trade in your truck every 3 or 4 years, it really doesn't matter what you buy or drive. If you're keeping a truck beyond the warranty period, long term, I'll take the Tacoma, thank you. If you're taking your Tacoma off-road, this off-road package is certainly nice to have. Performed great. Okay, let's do our bonus footage. Part 3, the headlight test. Take this baby out in the dark and do some night driving. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have tossed my cigarette out in the alley there. Oh well. Get the marshmallows out. Alright, it's dark enough. These are the low beams in action. And now the high beam bulb. Oh, that's pretty bright. And the tail lights. License plate light lights up pretty good. Emergency lights. Can't see them very well from the front with the headlights on. See, they're on the mirror though. Not very easy to see. Yeah, that's more like it. Definitely better. And here's what the rear view camera looks like when you put the gear in reverse. Don't have too much lighting up in here. Pretty simple truck. Not too many gadgets. The spot we normally use for headlight test is kind of tied up right now with a bunch of homeless people camping out that don't belong there. So we'll go somewhere else and use this wall. It's 33 yards away, 100 feet. These aren't very bright lights, but the height is decent enough just above the bushes. Let's go to high beam. Ah, that's more like it. We'll go down the street, try it again. Okay, low beam. Not seeing much. High beam. Improves things a bit. This truck has a few nice features. If you don't want the cabin lights to come on, you can turn them off completely right there. And if you watch my videos, you know in feature I cannot stand are auto dimming mirrors, but I give them a pass if there's a disconnect switch for driving in city streets. I don't want dimmed out mirrors on city streets. You could hit somebody beside you. And yes, you can turn this on and off. If you're loading and unloading gear in the bed of the truck, and that's usually what you do if you own a truck, having this light comes in handy. Operated by switch on the dash. It looks like I got a bunch of bugs on my windshield from my four-wheel drive trip yesterday. And I tried washing the windshield and the bugs won't come off, so I'll have to go get a Brillo pad tomorrow maybe. And on the highway, the high beams do an excellent job of lighting up the street signs. Well, in the meantime, I'd say the headlight test passed. Well, the high beams anyway. Low beams I'm not impressed with, but they'll do.